Hey y'all, this is Philip the Learn to Grow guy. Today I'm out here making a syrup of something that turns my hands purple. I'm going to use some hydrogen peroxide to get rid of this color on my hand, okay? Anyway, what I'm making is I'm making a syrup, okay? And the syrup is syrup of a plant that modern medicine will say do not touch, do not eat, do not do anything with, okay? Um, as a matter of fact, Elvis even wrote, I'm sorry, not wrote, he sang a song about this particular berry. Okay, it's called Polk Salad. Okay, I don't do Elvis impersonations that well, so but here's what I can tell you about Polk Salad. Okay, number one, I'm not a doctor. I research things for my own purposes, for my own interest. Okay, I would recommend before you try to do anything with this stuff, do your own research. Okay, so poke salad. Here we go. This is a poke salad bush or tree. This is the berry. This is one of the berries. I typically do about 8 to 10 of them a day. See the berry? Yeah. I have a neighbor. He has rheumatoid arthritis, and what he does is that he takes roughly between 4 and 8 of these on a daily basis. He freezes them when they're ripe, and he stores them so that he can take them throughout the winter. Okay, he takes that for his arthritis, and he seems to be happy about it. Okay, so anyway, um, this particular plant here, science is saying that in the laboratory, okay, that's in the laboratory, that they're finding out that this plant actually has the capabilities, has the potential, since they haven't done any human trial tests yet, it has the potential of being a cancer cure, as well as being able to get rid of various viruses. Okay, that's just some of the things that the son of a gun is good for. It also has other medicinal. Come with me. It also has other medicinal uses, and I'll run through some of these. I run through some of them with you. Oops, it's boiling. I got to turn it down. Okay, I got to turn it down. I'll tell you about the recipe in a minute. Okay. Okay. So, what is it good for? What else is it good for besides the potential rheumatoid arthritis or cancer, possible cancer cure, and also possible antiviral? Okay. Like I said before, I'm not a doctor. Do your own research. Do your own research. Do your own research on this. Okay. But poke salad, the same song that Elvis sang about. It is said that it's able to, like I said about my neighbor, it's able to help get rid of, it's able to help him with his arthritis. That's what the old timers used to use it for, okay? The old timers also use it as a blood purifier. They would take that in the spring to get rid of any toxins that may have built up into their systems over the winter months. Also, that they also use it to as a dewormer to get rid of worms that they may get into their bodies, into their systems. Okay, again, and there's rheumatism. The whole concept of rheumatism, what the old timers call rheumatism, all that stuff has been changed into. Well, let me give you some of the symptoms. Okay, if you have those symptoms, do what you think that you need to do. But I'm not advocating that you use this plant, okay? For pain, stiffness of joint, difficulty moving. In today's day and time, based on the symptoms that those old timers used to get, besides being called rheumatoid arthritis in today's day and time, it's also called lupus in today's day and time. Also, tendonitis. Um, oh, yeah, tendonitis is the other thing that they used to use it for. Okay, now some of the additional uses that it used to be used for was also includes sore throat, tonsillitis, swollen lymph glands, and severe coop. I'm not sure what coop is. I didn't get a chance to look it up, but nonetheless, that's COUP. But and that's what the old timers used to use it for. Now, as far as making syrup, the formula or the recipe is basically the same as if you're making any syrup from any berry or what have you. Okay, and basically what you're looking at is harvesting lots and lots and lots of these berries. Okay, I took a whole lot off of this, and there's still a whole lot more coming. I think if you look around this plant, you'll see there's a whole lot more that's still there that I did not pick. Yep, the plant has plenty on it. Okay, it has plenty on it. So once you harvest these, you're gonna clean them. First of all, you gotta pick the berries, each of the berries off of the little stem thing. You gotta pick them all off of there, and then you gotta wash them. Put them in a bowl, wash them. That's what I did. Now, after washing, what I did is that I put them in this pot, okay, and I use this here, so like a potato masher, and I mashed them. You don't want to squeeze too tight. You don't want to press down too tight for the simple reason that what I did was that I pressed down and I did a little twist. Pressed down, did a little twist. And when I did that, I heard the berries popping. As I believe I mentioned before, considering that this was so many different tests, has been so many different takes, you don't want to eat the berries. You don't want to crush the berries, okay? So, because the berries have a lot of toxins in them. Now, if you crack the berries open, it's going to release some of the toxins in there. It's going to upset your stomach, give you diarrhea and stuff like that. It's not a feel-good experience to have stuff trying to rush out of your system, okay? So be careful with crushing of the berries. You don't want to run this stuff through a blender. You do not want to rush to run this stuff through a blender or anything that may smash or break the seeds open, okay? So once I smashed it, what I did then was that I put them in this cloth. I ran them through this cloth here, okay? This cloth here is called a flour sack towel, okay? So that's what that is, and here's what the stuff looks like on the inside. And all this stuff I'm gonna toss it all out, okay? And in smashing the berries, what I did is that I heated a little bit of water with the berries to get them nice and soft and stuff. These are the seeds here, okay? And I'd imagine that since I boiled them a little bit to tenderize the skins to make it easier to pop the berries. Ooh, lots of seeds in there. See that? Anyway, once I did squeeze the juice out of once I squeezed the juice out of here, I poured it back in there, but before I did take a measure, and I ended up with like 7.5 cups. Okay, so which meant that just as you're making any syrup, you're going to need some sugar. Okay, so this is the sugar that I was trying to use initially. I thought it would have been enough, but apparently I harvested more berries than I needed, so I had to use this here, as well as a little bit of leftover white sugar we had. Okay, so if you're looking for sugar in time of emergencies, don't come here. You will not find sugar. Okay. Anyway, okay. After measuring it, I put it back in there. I put the sugar in there, and I turned the fire on, and now it's boiling. And you gotta stir it to make sure that the sugar is properly diluted, and it is diluted. And now the thing is to basically wait for this son of a gun to thicken up a little bit. So I already turned the heat down some, but I'm letting it do what it's supposed to do to reduce this a little bit. It's basically letting it simmer for, they say, about 15-20 minutes. That's what they say the old timers used to do. But I'm letting this reduce a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to let this reduce a little bit more so that I'm able to do what I got to do with it, because I like the syrup to be a little bit thicker. Now, as far as dosage is concerned, like I said earlier on one of the takes, I'm not sure if it was included in one of this. I'm not sure if it was included in this particular take. I consume about 8 to 10 of those because I conduct experiments with myself periodically just to see how things work out. I'm not necessarily one who follow everything that people say to do in today's day and time, because I think our governments have lied to us so many times. I have lost faith in our governments over time. I've lost faith. I don't really trust a lot of stuff our government tells us. I mean, to me, I look at COVID, and COVID seems to be one of those situations where, again, I think they lied to not just us, but they lied to the whole world was lied to, in my opinion, at least. Okay, and I mean, don't get me wrong, we lost people from COVID, but I think that the stuff that they were telling us is not stuff worth. They didn't tell us the whole truth. Okay, I'll just put it that way. I'll leave it at that. Okay, so therefore, I believe in a lot of the old timer ways. I believe I believe that there's a lot of herb stuff that's out there that's cures for everything. I don't believe that God would put us out here if the remedy for everything that could possibly exist would not be here on earth. I believe it's all here on earth. I don't think we have to take the pharmaceutical meds for all things. And don't get me wrong, there are certain things that's going to happen, or that may happen, that as to where you need to take the pharmaceuticals, okay, at least for a short period of time. And if that does occur, then you can clean yourself of the stuff thereafter. Do the cleanses that you need to do to get rid of whatever you need to get rid of. But like I said, God made everything, okay? If you look around, there's lots of herbs, lots of trees, lots of everything, and most of the stuff, we call a lot of stuff weeds, like dandelions. Dandelions are actually very nutritious. You have red clover, white clover, plantains. Those are three things that grows on your lawn, and you're told that those are weeds that need to be eradicated, and you get rid of them. And what you fail to understand is that if you do any kind of research on those, you'll find out that they're good meds, okay? So this is me making some syrup, and got to do a little bit more stirring, okay? This is me doing a little bit more stirring, and this is me making some syrup. Y'all, learn what you got to learn. Ooh, here's something. Doug and Stacy. If you guys ever check out Doug and Stacy, they did a bit as to where they were showing how some AI companies are actually collecting books, they're scanning them, and they're destroying the books. They're destroying books, okay? I think it's a means of controlling what people know. That's my point of view. And if they're destroying the books, again, it's another way of, how you said, doing library burnings to get rid of books, so that whatever it is that you know, AI will dish out whatever it is that they want you to know. I'm not sure if you guys realize, but since COVID, we actually lost our, what's that thing called? Freedom of speech. And there's a lot of things we cannot say. Oops, I just said the C word. Okay, so anyway, we lost a lot of things, including our freedom of speech. So my viewpoint, if you can find some of the old books, since right now there seems to be somewhat of a campaign to get rid of the old books. My viewpoint, find whatever old books you can. Find stuff that is of some use, buy them, collect them, save them, okay? Because the time seems to be coming as to where some certain things may not be available, considering that everything's going online and stuff like that. So that's all I got for you for today. Make your own syrups. Elderberry is another good one. Actually, I'm going to be making some. I've got a bunch of elderberry. See, right out here, you see them? Elderberry. Oops, let me try that again. That's elderberry. Elderberry, okay, the little purple things, okay. Anyway, elderberries are actually good for you. Do your own research on elderberries to see what they're good for. That's another one I got to collect. I've got a very large bush on the other side. I've got to harvest some of those and make some elderberry. I may make a video about that. I may not. We'll see what happens. You know, so la vie. Hey, what can I say? Anyway, y'all take care. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Again, do your own research. I'm not a doctor. I research for myself. For my own uses, for what I think may be future uses for down the line. Do your thing, and yeah, do your thing. Okay, y'all take care.